Okay folks, I just want to give some initial first impressions of this sliding dual bevel compound miter saw by Metabo HPT. I think it's formerly Hitachi. Just want to say for the record, that's what I had before, was a 12-inch single bevel compound miter saw from Hitachi, a 12-inch, had a laser and an LCD digital readout here. It was a tank. It always performed well, but the only thing I didn't like was, well, 12-inch blade. Because it wasn't sliding, the 12-inch gave me bigger cut, but at the end of using it for almost 14 years, I don't think I really needed that much. That's where my table saw and bandsaw came into play. Now I can swap my 10-inch blades with this miter saw and my table saw, so I'm a happy camper. Anyway, I stumbled upon this deal on Slick Deals, and I bid. I bought it. My order was actually back ordered, like many were, and I took the advice of some people who posted to bring in the order to a local Lowe's, and they honored the price, so kudos to them. This is the updated version with the parentheses T on the end. It is a brushless motor. I think the older model was slower RPM, 3,500. This is 4,000 RPM, but I believe this one is lacking the soft start. And if you do your research on it, soft start is always good for electrical motors and the equipment or the load of the electrical motors. So anyway, I won't get into that. I just want to give you guys some initial impressions here. Setting this up, the bevel, so the 45 left and 45 right. The 45 left was pretty close, almost spot on. The 45 right was significantly off. That was very easy to adjust with the stops. Don't know if you can see them. Oh, they're underneath here. These stops here. If you don't do any adjustment, you just assume out of the box it's good, do yourself a favor. Make sure that locking nut right there, this locking nut on both left and right 45 bevel is nice and tight, because these weren't. Also, one other thing that I forgot to mention, when I opened the box, I found this screw laying in the box. Yes, that pan head there. And that was concerning, of course, but I have scoured every screw on this entire chassis, under, side, top, bottom, left, right, you name it. Cannot find where that goes. Don't know what happened there. Next, for the miter adjustments, starting at the 90 degree, straight up and down. These are the detents. I think this one here is 45, and this one here is 45, and finally this one here will go even further. But this is 90, 45, 45. For the 90, I will tell you that the detent, I need to press it significantly this way and then lock it. Okay, this is the lock knob here. Okay, I need to push it this way. And even then, I wish it was a smidgen more. And that carries through, it seems, for both detents for the left 45 and the right 45. So what you could do is you could do this override. This is a detent override, and then dial in your indicator here, your indicator for 0 degrees, and not use the detent. But depending on the time of the day, the heat and expansion of the chassis, whatever it might be, you really should try to dial the detents in so it's repeatable every time. So that being said, what I found right now, I think it's going to be workable the way it is. I still need to cut some wood, more wood, and see what happens. But if I'm not satisfied at the end of that, and I'm not suggesting anyone do this, but if you look here, this is your detent release. It's this lever up there, and you see it comes down. So this surface on this side, this plastic surface on the right side, if you were to sand away a fraction of this surface and retry the detent with lighter pressure and you got better results, that would be an option for you. So that's the only thing as far as setting up out of the box. I really need to press pretty firm to the right and then lock it down. As far as the motor, the vibration, hey, I'm just a weekend warrior. I'm satisfied with this unit. No problems there. And finally, nowhere in the manual does it talk about this friction adjustment for the locking. It's really easy to adjust here. It's almost like a turnbuckle type thing here, but it's not. It's just a long shaft that's threaded on one end, so it's really not like a turnbuckle. But I adjusted that so it's a little more snug, and the reason I did is what I found is when I pushed to the right some and locked it and then let go, I could see it spring back just a little bit to the left, ever so slightly. So I tightened that up, and now whenever I lock it down, it is solid.